Hi, y'all. Um, Today I want to talk about 9 crucial steps for leaving an emotionally abusive family. Now, understand I am not a mental health professional. I am not a medical doctor, a psychological doctor. I'm not a doctor in any capacity. Okay, I'm a healthcare worker, but I am not a doctor. So, I will put a formal disclaimer at the end of this video and in the show notes just so that you're aware of that. But I am someone who is not afraid to walk away. And I have walked away on several occasions. So, today we're going to talk about going no contact with an emotionally abusive family. I cannot speak to physically abusive. I can speak to emotional and psychological abuse as someone who has escaped it. For the most part, there might be some of it left in there. I'm not sure, but it's sleeping. It's kind of like Lestat. It's sleeping for now. But anyway, so there's a whole different level of aid, of help that you might need if you are talking about leaving a physically abusive relationship or family. If there are children involved, then you need to seek help, hire help. Professionals, legal, you need to go see a lawyer, especially if there's kids involved, because you don't want to be charged with abandonment if you just up and leave. So what I'm listing here needs to be taken with a grain of salt and sand, just because there are different ways to handle these things. So, and if you're a minor and you're listening to this and watching this, jump right down to the show notes and contact one of the help resources that's listed in the down below. Before you take any definitive action, if you want to be free, depending on your age, now, I think you have to be 16 before you can be considered an emancipated minor. But there are other ways that you might be able to get out of a bad situation or one that's detrimental to your mental health, because your mental health is paramount when it comes to your physical health. So, whether it is your sexuality, whether it is your gender identity, whether it is your self-worth, whether it has nothing to do with that, you're just the whipping post for the family. Once you're that victim, you have a right to protect yourself and to find a way to break free of those shackles that may well be upon you, particularly the psychological ones, because those are the worst. Physical scars go away, or, well, they scar up, but the emotional and mental shackles can be the most haunting. Anyway, so you want to go about it the right way and using the right resources. Use some of the resources that are in the show notes, please. There are a lot of vids on narcissistic parents and usually the emotional scars that they leave on their children, as well as the self-preservation behaviors that kids develop because of their parents' behavior. Some of the telltale signs are preemptive apologies. I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, or I don't mean to, I don't want to bother you. Or the self-dismissive excuses. It's just my opinion. I just thought, never mind. It's not important. A person can only exist in a subverted state like that for so long before you feel like you're going to lose your mind or any sense of self that you might have once thought possible. Most often, these family members will do and say anything to keep you under their thumb. It's their reason for living, so it seems. They also tend to join forces against you once they've marked you as the family target. It is their desire and purpose to keep you from reaching your potential and living your life the way you want. So when you're ready to walk away, it's imperative to have a multi-part plan. So these tips are typically for individuals who don't have children. Like I said before, if you do have children, your best bet, again, is to seek professional assistance and advice before implementing any of these steps. But you do want to keep them in the back of your head. Now, I've mentioned before that I am very good at walking away when something is not healthy for me, when a situation is not healthy for me. I'm very, very good at walking away. I've mastered it over the years. First thing that you're going to need is your own bank account, one that they don't know about, and a credit card that they don't know about. So in a lot of cases, when you have an abusive family situation, you've got either a mother, a father, or a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, or somebody who wants to be a co-signer on your account. And if that's the case, they may be usurping control of that account without your knowledge of it. So you want to go to the bank. You want to have, you want to go to the bank in person. Let me put it like that. Let's start there. And when you do that, or before you do that, you may want to check your car for a GPS locator, one of those AirPod thingies that AirTag, I think they're called. Anything like that. Check your car and check your GPS system. Shut it off when you go for that ride. Okay? Because you don't want them to know where you've gone. Anyway, so you go to the bank and you create an account that's all yours. Now, if you're in a joint account and you have the freedom to utilize money and move money around from that account, when you create this new account, take your money, the money that you put in there. Do not take an extra penny that you did not put in there. In fact, I would suggest that you leave a few dollars in there, that just leave a few extra dollars in there, because you do not want to be accused of theft. You do not want to be accused of any kind of embezzlement or anything like that. You want to have receipts, and those receipts are your pay stubs or wherever else you make money from. So make sure you keep those. And again, don't take a single penny more than you have put in there. Don't steal anything from the house. If somebody gave you a diamond encrusted mantle clock from, the 4th century, okay, probably not the 4th century, but it's possible. Don't take it. They gave it to you as a gift. It was your gift. It was your Christmas present. Don't take it. Again, you don't want to have that, to give them anything that they can accuse you of making a crime. They can accuse you of stealing that clock, even though they said it was a present for you. Don't do it. Okay? If you're the age of majority, leaving is not a crime. When it becomes a crime is when you abandon your children, or when you take something of substantial value that somebody else may claim is their own, or somebody else may claim as part of the community property. So that's when you start getting into a little bit more iffy territory. So you don't want them to have a single weapon against you. Even if you think you're owed it, go about it the right way if you have to. If you're eventually forced to deal with these people again, go about it the right way. Get a lawyer. Okay. You will need originals preferably, or copies of all of your documents, your birth certificate, your driver's license, your state ID, your passport if you've got one, auto insurance, definitely the title, and your social security card. Get all those together and put them somewhere safe. Carry them with you, put them somewhere safe. I like the idea of a safe deposit box, okay, for everything but your driver's license and auto insurance and title. You need to block them from your phone, or if you think you may be forced to go back and deal with them or contend with them again, don't block them, because you want text evidence, okay, of their harassment, of their abuse, quite frankly. Get a new phone with a new number that they don't know about. Change all the passwords on all your electronics. If you are on a different computer in the house, log out of it or change the password and then log out of it on every computer in the house, including the laptop and tablet. Now, those you'll probably be taking with you because, those are yours. And again, it's that kind of sketchy thing there. But that would be something worth defending. So between your phone and your laptop or tablet, make sure, even if you're bringing it with you, make sure that you change all the passwords. And go into your settings and make sure that you shut off Bluetooth capability, at least for a little while, because you don't want somebody, following you and being outside of wherever you are and trying to jack into your computer via Bluetooth. So if you're not going to shut off your Bluetooth settings, go into your computer or tablet and actually just eliminate external computers that you may have allowed to have access to your computer. So just make sure that electronically speaking, you're not vulnerable. Leave that phone as your evidence. Make sure that if you wind up talking to them on the phone, on that phone, that you record the conversation. Okay, it may not be admissible in court if they make threats and stuff like that, but you can use it as evidence when you're obtaining legal help. And make sure that you keep the texts. Always keep the texts. Again, make sure that your car is checked for a tracker or download tracker detection software on your phone. And you want to make sure that you have a job. Now, odds are that you probably already do have a job. You're a wage earner. And if you're not, actually, that might be better because they'll never know where you wind up working. But depending on what you do for a living or what you have done for a living, if you do have a job, you may need to enlist human resources to help you. Especially if you have a 401k or profit share or anything like that, you'll need to change your beneficiary. You'll need to change access to that 401k and retirement account. Human resources will also help you if you explain the situation that these family members, you're expecting them to come onto premises, you're expecting them to potentially raise a big fuss, to start rumors, to tell lies about you, and you are trying to get ahead of the situation because this is what you put up with on the daily. And it's human resources. They have to keep certain things private unless they're called to, give a deposition or something like that. To my understanding, double check the laws wherever you are. You'll also need a place to stay if you haven't been able to arrange it before you leave. So this is part of where the unknown credit card comes in. So depending on the balance or the credit card credit limit, you may be able to take a cash advance on it to put a down payment on an apartment. But if you can't do that, and hopefully you've got a paycheck coming in or somebody who can loan you the money, use that credit card to get a motel room. Do not go stay with friends. Number one, they won't be friends for long if you do. Number two, you potentially will be bringing your life's troubles to their door. You do not want to burn a bridge. Okay? These life troubles that you might be bringing to their door, this could be, that they're going to start poisoning your friends against you. So, stay away from that kind of a situation, because they might try very hard to enlist your friends to find you, to tell them where you are. They might say you're having a nervous breakdown. They might say, oh, you're suicidal. Oh, I'm sorry, you want to unalive yourself, or anything like that. Nothing is beyond possibility when it comes to emotionally abusive family members. Do not tell your friends where you're staying. Don't tell them. You want them to have plausible deniability, period. And don't agree to meet with them for a little while. Step number 8, leave when no one is home and don't go back. If at all possible, do not communicate with anyone who's there without witnesses or recording the calls or texts. These are the first steps that you're going to need to pay attention to, because they'll still know where you work, and they'll probably again harass you at work, spread rumors to you about your coworkers and all that stuff. This is why you may need to engage the help of human resources. They can help you while you're on premises, but when you're off premises, not really, but they might help you find resources that can help you when you're off premises. And the last tip, number 9, turn off your conscience and turn off your inner survivor. You do not need to feel guilt. Okay, you are in self-survival mode. You're not hurting anybody. You are walking away from a bad situation, and you are insulating yourself from people who will psychologically harm you. So, respect your inner survivor. You don't need to feel guilt. I know it sounds like super secret agent stuff, but depending on how malignant the situation is, your safety is your priority, because it's sure not their priority. Narcissists do not like to let people go, and they will often resort to possibly criminal ends to make sure you don't save yourself. Their ego depends on it. When you get somewhere safe, I promise you, you will laugh. And you will cry, and you will likely be very, very afraid. You will require time alone in solitude to get your equilibrium back. Stay away from places they know you like to go. Find new places. Or better yet, take the time that you need to discover the peace of being alone with yourself. The life you just left will infringe on your new life eventually, especially if there are children. And when it does, you want to be in the best, strongest, most stable possible headspace, the rational headspace. You want to be where you can present your case logically, reasonably, and justifiably, and without any remorse or guilt over protecting yourself from others. No matter what they say, you've already heard it. I don't even need to go there. I can't write it as well as people have just twisted like silly putty, like Stretch Armstrong. They stretch and they twist and they tie in knots. But eventually, you will spring back to the way that you're supposed to be, the way that your inner you has always known that you could be. And that's what you have to hold tight to. So, before you put any of this into action so that you're not stripped of the possibility of custody or charged with abandonment or anything like that, please make sure you utilize proper resources and keep your cool. This is why that solitude is so important. You're going to hear the voices. You're going to hear them in your head. I promise you. But in time, after you tell them to stop it, they will stop. And they'll only come back maybe around the holidays, because, that's when they really love to get you. But anyway, you will succeed in breaking free. So this is a start of a new life for yourself, one in which your energy can be spent nurturing you and creating the life that you want, and not what others expect or try to demand of you. Again, I am not a mental health professional or any kind of a medical doctor. There is a list of resources in the show notes, or as I call it, the down below. Please don't hesitate to use them to find proper medical and psychological care you will need. You will need it, so utilize it. That's why it's there. Get help, okay? And if you have found any of this helpful, again, please like, sub, and share. Most importantly, share this with anyone you think may be going through stuff like this. We recognize each other. So, and if you have other tactics, other things to keep in mind, things that I've missed, please write it in the show notes, write it in the comments for those who will be hearing us, for those who need to hear what we have to say. In the meantime, keep writing, keep reading, keep writing, keep reading, keep creating. Remember that creating, it is you. So nurture it. That will also help you survive. And together, we will keep hope alive. Until next time.